So we want to carefully look at the issue of forgetfulness and appreciation. We are not altogether looking at you being a forgetful person, but we are talking about you being forgotten by people you feel you have done a lot for, people you feel should be able to remember the wonderful things you have done in their lives, and they have just taken them for granted. These are the things that we want to think about, we want to look at. You may be a father, you may be a mother, you may be a brother, somebody who has done some wonderful things that you feel that is essential in the lives of others, but they have gone unappreciated, they have gone undervalued. As I was watching the just ended World Cup, I realized that the coaches played a very significant role for Argentina to win the World Cup and even for France to perform so well. But it is the footballers who were in the spotlight simply because they were playing, but nobody really looked at the work some of these coaches put in. I, for one, I had to even research to know the names of the coaches, but I can remember the names of players like Mbappe and players like Messi because they were all we could see and they were all we could actually fathom. But these coaches did wonderful and marvelously well, even by the substitutions they made, by the people they brought in, by the people they took out, by the tactics they changed, and all those stuff that were done by these wonderful people. But the issue is, just like many of us, they have been forgotten. And just like many of us, it's as if they even didn't exist that day. Just like many of us, it's as if they didn't do anything at all. So these are the realities of life. We may all do many things that we feel people should appreciate us for, but all these things will go unappreciated. So what do we do? What do we do in such a situation or in such a scenario? There's some few questions here that I want to put across. Does it matter if generations after us remember us or not? 2, does it matter whether people acknowledge us sincerely or not? 3, what should we do or what should be our response in these circumstances? So these are things we should look at. Now, when it comes to us being appreciated or acknowledged, some people make it feel like it doesn't matter when you are not appreciated or not. No, that is wrong. We are beings born and created for appreciation and created for value. So, and then in cultures where people make it seem, oh, it is nothing. Oh, you shouldn't have said thank you for what I did for you. I think that it is wrong when we act that way, because if the people also didn't come to appreciate what you did, you would also have turned it another way, that you did it, they didn't appreciate it. So by nature, instinctively, we like to be appreciated, we like to be acknowledged, we like to be recognized for whatever effort or whatever little or significant impact we make in the lives of people. That is why in books like How to Win Friends and Influence People, you will see that in one of the stories, a certain man was critical of his employees, but when he changed his approach to appreciating them and seeing the good that was in the people, he stirred up loyalty, stirred up a lot of love, because everybody felt that, oh, at least aside the fact that I'm being paid, what I'm doing is being seen. And his employees really became loyal. When we stir up a culture of appreciation in our workplaces, a culture of genuine acknowledgement, not that we're appreciating people because we want them to stay, or we're appreciating them because they have to be appreciated. But when we are in a culture where people appreciate what you do, it kind of encourages you to do more. It encourages you to put in more effort than before. Now, research was also conducted on 300 adults. Mostly they were college students, and many of them were suffering from depression. And one thing that was realized is that one group were told to actually learn to send appreciation letters to people who have done things in their life, and they felt better from doing that. The other group were told to do nothing, and the difference was clear among this group of people. The second group, they were also asked to write about their feelings and about their negative experiences. So these 3 groups, it meant that the first group, which were told to write letters of appreciation to people who have just done things to help them, they actually were able to overcome their depression. The second group that was told to just think about their problems, think about the negative things happening to them, they ended up being more depressed. And then the third group were told to do nothing. Still, they were battling with their issues. So you can see that appreciation is something that is very, very, very helpful. That is very, very, very important. Another research, all these researches, I've put them on our blog. You can check the blog out so that you get access to the research making mention of. Okay, so in the second research, what happened was that people were asked to focus on particular topics on gratitude. Okay, so this was the second research, particular topics on gratitude. Okay, and this research was conducted by Dr. Robert Amos of the University of California, Davis, and Dr. Michael E. McCullough. So, according to this research, what happened was that the first wrote occurrences they were grateful for in the week. The second about daily irritations or things that had displeased them. And then the third wrote about events that had affected them. Okay, so obviously the first group became more optimistic after they partook of the research. So you can see that from even these two researches, and there are other researches on the blog you can look out for, appreciation becomes a very, very important thing that helps every single person. Now, what are some of the ways to express gratitude? You can express gratitude, you can cultivate the habit of being grateful. I want to first tackle each and every single one of us because we have all made one or two mistakes. Much as we are expecting people to appreciate us, have we also taken the time to also appreciate the others who are in our lives, a brother, a sister, little things that people have done, people who are demanding of us appreciation. You know, there are some people in your life who demand that you appreciate them because they feel they have done so much for them. Yes, appreciate them genuinely. Don't appreciate them for that purpose because they feel they need it. You can do that, but appreciate them genuinely because even if their effort was little, it's still an effort. You can also appreciate them aside mentally. You can write it down. Learn to write some of the good things people do for you. Learn to write some of the good things people do for you, some of the good things that happen to you. And one thing also is learn to count your blessings every day. This is also one way to cultivate appreciation. Above all, learn to also appreciate yourself. Some people don't appreciate their existence. The fact that you are even alive and as a human being is something worth celebrating and appreciating. You don't need to wait for your birthday to appreciate yourself and to appreciate what God has done for you and is doing in your life. Now, what are some of the situations for appreciation? So somebody may also be asking, under what circumstance should I appreciate others? Is this word appreciating? Is that word appreciating? Now, when people have done the right thing, appreciate them. So this particular situation is when you are a leader or when you are the head or when you are the mother or the father. Many people tend not to appreciate the people who do significant things in their lives. But when people have done the right thing, learn to appreciate them. When they have done the thing well, don't just smile. Say thank you. Open your mouth and say thank you. Tap them on the shoulder and say thank you. Let them know that you really appreciate and make it, be emphatic about it. One thing I learned in our context, I was told by somebody, there is tomorrow thank you. What is tomorrow thank you? Tomorrow thank you is, I have thanked you today. Yes, for what you did today. I will also thank you tomorrow. If I thank you tomorrow for the same thing you did yesterday, which was today, what will happen is that you will feel that, oh, I really appreciate it, because thanking you today and remembering to call you and thank you tomorrow, it means that I've really meditated about what you did for me. Yes. So little things like that are very, very helpful. And then when people have done their possible best, this situation happens when things didn't go as planned. Sometimes people mess up. You have to look at the situation and then also appreciate the good sides of what they did, because not every situation is under our control in this life. So when people have done their possible best for a situation, it has gone well or it didn't go well, still you have to learn to appreciate them. When people deserve criticism, condemnation, and complaint, so this is another situation. So this is number 3. This time around, people have done wrong. They deserve criticism. They deserve condemnation. And you have the right to complain about them. you have to assess the situation well, and we have to criticize in a very constructive way, and we have to consider the other person's emotions when we are criticizing. It's not easy to do this particular one, especially when people are being silly, people are doing things in the wrong way. Sometimes to encourage good behavior, you have to look at the little efforts people are putting in instead of condemning them every time for the wrong behaviors that they put up. So as much as possible, try as much as possible, because criticism is not working in the situation. You are condemning the person, it's not working. Insulting the person is not working. You keep complaining about the safety. Learn to adopt an appreciation strategy. An appreciation strategy may involve reward, but appreciating people for at least the little they do is very, very helpful. And if you have to criticize, if you have to complain, if you have to condemn people, learn to do it on a positive note. And how do you do it on a positive note? You don't start by praising them, then you say but, or you don't start by praising them, then you have to, when you praise them and later you want to introduce it, you should chip in what they have done on a light side so that they themselves will work on it. Now, number 4, when people suggest they need it. Sometimes some people, or then maybe you have a wife who feels she's not being appreciated, put in some effort to appreciate this person. You have a husband who feels he's not putting some effort. You have a father who feels he's not appreciated. So some people, by their attitude, by their words, by their actions, they may be suggesting that they are not appreciated. You have to put in some effort to get them to be appreciated, because it's a human tendency, it's a human nature. Sometimes people tend to go overboard and demand so much, but as much as light in your strength, appreciate them. There is nothing like, oh, I've appreciated you this year, so it's okay. Appreciation is for a lifetime. Even if somebody took just a pin from your hair, it's a lifetime of appreciation, because every little act, you don't know the ripple effect it has had in all of us, our longevity, or in our existence, or anything. So it's very, very important. Now, we also have number 5, when people succeed or win, appreciate them. Sometimes people put in a lot of effort to be successful. People put in a lot of effort to do great things. Learn to appreciate them. Instead of being angry, being jealous, let us appreciate people who have done significantly well, who have put in a lot of effort to achieve the things they have achieved. Because it's not easy to win anything. And it's not easy to just succeed. It is not easy to go to school, sit down, pass exams. It's not easy at all. Sometimes when people go to school, they go and study, they don't do well. It is then we know that, well, it's not a joke to be in school. But when people are just doing well, it seems that, oh, this person is intelligent. No. Appreciate people when they succeed at anything that is even expected of them. That is why some people, when they graduate, they organize parties. I'm not a fan of, yes, I've graduated from school, let's organize a party, let's do this, let's enjoy ourselves, you have done well. No. But if people want it that way, and it is in your means, appreciate them that way, because it's not easy to succeed at anything in this life. Number 6, I have added that when people fail, you must also learn to appreciate people when they fail, because sometimes looking at the circumstances under which people don't succeed, if you were in their shoes, you would have also messed up or even done worse. It's not easy to be anybody, considering people's background, considering people's mental strength. Some people have poor mental ability. You cannot blame them for that. I'm not saying some people are born more intelligent than some, but some people just have the ability not to process very fast. We have to learn to appreciate. So this is how to appreciate people. And this is what we also have to do, because we all crave acceptance. We all crave to be loved, and it is something that is there. So if you find yourself, and all of us are people we have to appreciate in our lives. I, for one of the group of people I regret not appreciating are some of my teachers when I was young, because I was part of those who didn't really appreciate whatever we were being taught in school, although I did very well. But we must appreciate people, and we must teach our children and everybody else to learn to appreciate, not just to say thank you. We say, oh, say thank you. No. Learn a habit of appreciating people genuinely, and appreciating people with everything that is in you. So somebody may ask, what about those of us who feel unappreciated? What should we do? First of all, let me handle those who feel that they have been forgotten. Let me tell you, no matter what you do, people will forget you. A generation from now, nobody is likely to remember you. Yes, you may have done YouTube videos, you may have done TikTok videos, but it may surprise you that nobody will be listening in 20, 30 years from now, because there will always be others. There will always be another generation with something new, something different. So my point is not to strive to be remembered, but as much as possible, do what is in your possible best in this life. Help people for the fact that they are people, not for the fact that I want them to remember me always. Because people will be ungrateful, people will be unkind, people will be unfriendly after you have done so many good things to them. So if you want to help people, just help them for the sake of helping them. If you want to do something for people, just do it. If it's not in your strength to do, just leave it. But forget about being remembered. Do what you can and enjoy your life in this life. And don't keep bitterness, malice against people just simply because they couldn't appreciate you. Maybe you were a father, you were not appreciated. You were a brother, you have not been appreciated enough because you did some things for some people they didn't appreciate. You were a boss, you feel that people should have appreciated you better, they didn't appreciate you better. Don't do things to be remembered only. But if you are remembered, it's a nice and a wonderful thing. We know that. But if it doesn't happen that way, just focus on yourself. Do what you can in this life. We are not here for eternity. Eternity begins after we die, not now. So enjoy. Stop focusing on the wrong things people keep doing to you and the good things you do that people don't appreciate. Stop. Forget about those things and just live your life. Do good to people. Prepare for your life. Some group of people, especially some of our parents who become very old, they expect that their children will come back to them always and come and be appreciating them, sending them gifts and all that. It's not always so. And it will never be so in some cases. Because some of the children are still struggling to find their feet. So many things. By the time maybe they are on their feet to repay back, it's too late. But the little they are doing, appreciate it. And that is why you should not live your life as if I'm investing into my children. So when they grow, they also invest into me in my old age. It's a subconscious mindset, but you may be disappointed. That is what I'm saying. Live your life. Enjoy it to the fullest. Prepare for your future. Don't let your life be dependent on others, whether you're a husband or a wife. It doesn't matter whether this is my husband, this is my wife. Your happiness and your joy should not be dependent on everybody's action or people's actions. Rather, their actions, if it is positive, should influence your joy. Yes, but if it's negative, throw it away and live your life. Enjoy yourself. Do what you must do. Fulfill purpose, fulfill destiny. That is why we are in existence. God created us for that purpose. So enjoy your life and forget about this person didn't do this, that person didn't appreciate this. Just live. Just live. Just live and enjoy yourself. People will hurt you. People will forget what you have done for them. People will be very ungrateful. But forget it. Forgive them because they don't know what they are doing. Some people realize it after you are gone. So if after you are gone is when people are ready to appreciate you, what is the use? That is why you see people coming to put all kinds of expensive wreath after you have died, because they've now seen how valuable you were. What are you going to use them for? Yes, so enjoy your life today. Forgive them, because in your death they will still appreciate you, but it's useless. And also encourage them. Let them understand that appreciation is important and it's helpful. The most unappreciated person in this world is God himself, because God stepped into time in the form of Jesus, and he was worst treated. So your situation is not too bad. Because if Jesus is really God, and look at how he was treated, and look at how he's even still treated now. Up till now, there are some who say, "Yeah, he's not God, he's not this, he's not that." People are arguing about all kinds of things. Just one person. So don't think that your situation is the worst. Jesus Christ did so much for all of us, but up to now, it's still a struggle to even get people to understand and believe. So God loves you. And whatever you are going through, God has been there before. And God is still in it. But it will not change the fact that He is God in our lives. It will not change the fact that Jesus came to die for every single one of us. So as much as possible, we have the mandate, we have the opportunity to live our lives to the best of our abilities. Let us not take them for granted, and let us not treat them lightly. Because at the end of the day, what really matters is that we're able to take full advantage of our lives and to use it to the max. Avoid negative energy, avoid negative ideas, avoid negative speech. Keep hope alive, keep faith, keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing, and just live. Don't wait for somebody to celebrate you before you feel that you are worthy of being celebrated. You are worthy of being celebrated no matter how insignificant you are in life, no matter your financial position. You are worthy of being celebrated. So keep hope alive and celebrate yourself and help others to celebrate you the way it's fit for you. Don't leave them. Sometimes people feel that, oh, you do it how you want. No. If you know that this is how you want to be appreciated, make it clear so that people will get it done. Otherwise, you may be disappointed in how people will treat you. That is why God has made it clear. This is how I want to be served. This is how I want to. Otherwise, look at even how we are struggling with all these religions and all kinds of ways to worship God. He has made it clear. This is how I want you to worship me. And that is God's idea. So appreciation is both ways. You appreciate others. If you're not appreciated, drop it aside. Forgive the people. If you are not appreciated and you feel you have to be appreciated, don't keep it in you and be waiting. Forgive the people and move on. If they get their wisdom to appreciate you, that's fine. Because sometimes the people who should be appreciating you, even meet them if you are not meeting them, you don't have a problem. But you are meeting them every day, and still they are not even remembering what you have done for them. Please forget about it and move on. Once in a while, when you sit in a car, you meet somebody you offer to pay their transport. Yes, I tried that once, and that was a long time ago. The person even didn't know that I had done this. I don't know if the person knew. The person didn't know whether I had paid for that person. But I always met the person. So what did I do? I just took, maybe the person didn't know, or there was a mistake or something. And it was a tough time that I did that. So who cares? Who cares? And so what? You did good to somebody, and so what? Are you the first person to do good? No. So just have that mindset. Forgive people for being people and move on. Appreciate people, and those who can appreciate you, accept it. If even one person appreciates you, accept it. 10 people were healed. Only one person returned to say thank you, Jesus. Jesus asked about the 10. The other 9 that were healed, and he didn't receive any good response. So he just focused on the one that came to say thank you. That's all. That's the one that came to say thank you. Don't go and be crying about the 9 and be worrying about, I have 6 children. Only one person said thank you. So because one person said thank you, even the thank you that one person is saying, even on behalf of the 6, sometimes it's not on behalf of everybody, but the person is just covering for the others, or the 10. The thank you the person is saying, you are still insisting on the other 9 that have not come. Look, life is short. Receive the due appreciation. Above all, keep hope alive. Believe in God, believe in Jesus. Because everything we have been through, Jesus has been through. And He has done it for us. And He will do it for us. So you can check the records. This has nothing to do with your religion, but it has everything to do with life, hope, and your future. Thank you very much. Bye.